In this lesson, we're going to learn how to create and open projects in Unreal Engine 4. Alright, to create a brand new project, we'll simply open up the editor and we'll go to File and New Project. By doing so, it's going to bring up a window and it's going to allow us to choose what kind of project we want to create. We can choose a blank project, which will create a new project with no files in it. And no code. Now we also have some of these templates that we can choose from, things like the basic code where it's an empty project but it's got some basic framework in it. Notice that it's going to be using C++ to create the interactivity. We also have other templates like creating a first-person game. We have a flying game. We have this ball rolling game, a side-scroller, third-person game, top-down, and even vehicles. Now we're using Unreal Engine 4.2. So if you're using an earlier version, this may look a little bit different. Now, going back up the top, we want to create a blank project. I want to show you how to create folders and things like that to get started. All right, so with the blank project, we'll want to go ahead and include our starter content. This is going to give us some assets that we can work with and just get us right into the mix of learning everything there is to know about Unreal Engine 4 very quickly. So with that checked, what we'll do at this point is go ahead and determine the project's name. So in our case, I'm going to call this UE4_files. Okay. Now it's giving me an error saying that this has already been created, and that's true. I have already created this, and I'm going to show you how to open that up here in just a moment. But if you're creating your own files or your own project, you can create the name here, but then you can also expand this and tell it where you want that project to be located. So in this case, it's going to be in our project files folder. So you can choose whatever file you want to put this in, and then you'll simply hit Create Project whenever you're ready. Now I've already created a project, so I'm going to show you how to open a project. To do that, we'll simply go to File and Open Project. Here it's going to give us a similar type of window. It's going to show us the different projects that we have available to us. You'll see that I have two UE4 files projects, but they're in different locations. You can check their location by hovering over that, and it's going to give you a tooltip, and you can see where that's located there. Now you'll also notice that we have some samples here, and they're grayed out. I'm not allowed to open those just yet. And the reason for that is because they're in different version numbers. So we're using 4.2. These were opened and created in 4.0 or 4.1 and so forth. Okay, now that will continue to grow as Unreal continues to release updates. So you'll want to make sure that you are on the correct version number. So to get started, let's select our project that we want to open and just simply hit Open. Now if you don't see it, you can simply go to Browse, and opening that will bring up your browser and you can locate the project file that you want to use. Now in this case, I already see mine, so I'm going to hit Open, and it's going to open that up in the editor. Now you'll notice the editor shuts down and then it begins to restart, and it updates the project file and then brings up the minimal default level. This level is the one that gets loaded whenever you create a blank project like that and you include the starter files. So how about opening one of my maps? Let's say that I've created a level and I want to open it up. Well, to do that, you'll simply go to File, and instead of going down to Project, we'll just come up here to Load and Save, and we're going to say Open Level. So to open a level, it's going to bring us to our Maps folder, okay, and then we're going to go to 02_begin. Okay, so that's already been created, and I'll simply hit Open, and there we go. All right. Now, if you want to create a new level for your own project, you'll simply go to File and New Level, and it's going to bring up this dialog box, and it's going to ask you if you want to create a default level with this ground plane and the sky dome, or you can create a completely empty level with zero lights and zero information in it. Either way you can use. I'm going to go ahead and use the default just to get started here. Now again, I can simply open up my level, which is the exact same thing, and I'm just going to stick with that just for consistency's sake. Alright, so now that we've talked about how to create and open projects, in the next lesson I want to talk about the UI on Unreal Engine 4. We'll kind of start to break that down very quickly. We'll talk about a little bit of customization, and then we'll move on into viewport navigation from there. So let's go ahead and get started with that in our next lesson.